Hello, everyone. I wanted to take a moment today to let you know that the Spring 2025 song list is live on your favorite streaming platform right now. Hop over there, take a listen to it, and start becoming familiar with the songs that we're going to be singing in our services this spring. All of the links are below, so check out your favorite streaming platform and go begin listening. I also wanted to take a moment today to talk about some of the thought process behind the song lists that we put together. One of the things that I really appreciate is that many of you send me song recommendations. I think this is great. I try to stay pretty plugged into the new stuff that's coming out and the things that are available. But I by no means have an exhaustive ability to keep my mind on what's coming out and what's brand new. So I really appreciate the fact that many of you, whenever you hear songs that you think would be a good fit for us, you send them my way. So thank you for that. I also wanted to say that if you don't see your songs on the lists, don't be discouraged. I put a significant amount of thought into the songs that I choose for us to sing together. One of the primary things being that I want our songs that we sing to be singable by average to mediocre singers. People, and I don't mean mediocre as in necessarily bad singers, but just people who would not think of themselves as singers. I still want them to be able to latch onto the songs and pick them up pretty easily. I try to avoid a lot of syncopation or a lot of unusual entrances of songs. Let me give you an example of this. The other day, Kelsey and I were talking about a song called, I was actually playing it in the house. It was called Sunday is Coming. And it's one I was kind of thinking about for Easter, and we might use it as like a feature song. Really good Phil Wickham song. And she goes, "Oh, I love this song. This is awesome. Are we going to sing this?" And I said, "Well, I hate to burst your bubble, but I don't think we are as a congregation, just because the way that the phrasing happens, it happens very much on the backside of the beat, or on kind of the backside of the feeling of the phrases that are laid out." Her response was, "Wow, I didn't even think about that. I didn't think about like the average singer." Cause most of us, we're approaching these songs from being accomplished, from the position of being accomplished musicians, having sing in choir our whole lives or been in bands our whole lives. Most of us, whether we're instrumentalists or not, we know how to sing a tune, and we can pretty well pick up new songs easily. But for the people that we're serving, and for the people who our goal is for them to sing and to engage deeply, this is not their experience. So I think about that a lot. I think about the average person sitting in the congregation. What are they actually able to latch onto? I try to avoid a lot of syncopation. I try to avoid phrasing with really big gaps. This is just something that I've observed myself standing out in the congregation and being led in worship, how awkward it feels to have phrases that are like, you have a phrase that goes da 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 da, and then there's a big pause, da 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 da, and there's just these big pauses in between phrases that you're singing together. I feel like it's much more engaging to keep that flow happening on a fairly regular basis. These are just general principles that I follow. Obviously, too, there's the issue of range. It's not just how high does a song go, because you can always bring the key down. But what's the distance between the lowest note in the song and the highest note in the song? If that's any more than about an octave and a fourth, you're going to lose your average singer. Also think about like stepwise pattern melodies where you're going either a whole step or half step to the next note. They're much easier to follow than melodies with big leaps and big jumps. Some leaps are good, especially ones that we're used to hearing, whether it be in popular music or through some type of, popular jingle or whatever. These are the kinds of things that go into that. So all that to say, if I don't choose every song that you send, or even a lot of the songs that you send, just know that there's a thought behind that, and the thought is not my personal preference. The thought is, how do we put songs in the hands of our people that, number one, that they will and they can sing, number two, that are memorable, that they can latch onto and they'll use in their everyday life, and then of course number three is just that have good, robust theological material. I tend to lean more on the side of making sure that anything you do in worship, whether it be the singing of our songs, to the preaching of the word, to the taking of the elements, to any element used in worship, I tend to lead on the side of making sure that whatever we do is intellectually robust, that there's not contradictions in what we're saying, and that we're not doing something that's sentimental or shallow, but there's profound depth, that the imagination that's being shaped by what we're doing, that it's being shaped in a healthy way and in a way that's actually in alignment with how God made the world and how he's revealed himself. That position does have its own ditch, because you can turn your relationship into the Lord, and you can turn that into just a philosophy and a way of viewing life. And it can turn a person into one who is able to perfectly keep the letter of the law, but have no regard for the spirit of the law. I totally understand that ditch. The other ditch that I'm trying to avoid is the sentimental ditch, the sensational ditch, the ditch that is merely after the potency of the spiritual high. I think we have to hold both of these things in perfect balance, and wherever that perfect balance is, I think we have to use wisdom, and we have to use the guidance of the Holy Spirit in doing these things. But when I'm choosing songs, I'm thinking, okay, is this speaking to the heart of the person? Is this moving the affections and shaping the want to of the individual who's listening to it? And is it doing it in such a way that's not being sentimental and that's not being trite? And also, is this song saying things that are true on a deep and a profound level? And are they saying things that are not just heaping together empty cliches, or worn out cliches, I should say, or just empty phrases, or, trendy ways of saying things, but are they actually using the language, using the gift of the English language that we've been given, specifically for our context, because we're all English speakers, but are they using the English language in a way that's beautiful and that is communicating profound and real and deep truths about who God is? So all of that's coming to how I put together these song lists. On a really practical level, I'm looking to put together lists that are about 20 songs. I think that's pretty reasonable, that over the course of 4 months you're singing about 20 different songs in your services. I'm looking for songs 12, 13, 14, 15, somewhere around in there, of those songs to be what I call canon songs. These are songs we already know that we're just going to throw in because they fit really well with the message series that we're going to be going through in the particular season that we're in. I also try to include 2 to 3 ancient songs. By ancient, I just mean these are songs that we've been singing, that the church has been singing for most likely centuries, and that most people who have who have a background in growing up in the church and singing are going to know. 2 to 3 new songs. These are things that have been produced in the last couple of years. And then 1 psalm. That's kind of the mix that I'm trying for. I don't always perfectly get it, but when you're looking at the song lists, that's what I'm trying to put into our song list and what I'm trying to give to our people. So I hope that's a helpful framework. I know as you see these come out, it may just seem random, like, oh, here's a collection of songs that we're going to be singing right now. I have no idea how these come together. Well, I hope that helps you kind of understand how these come together. The songs that we sing are really, really important to me because they're shaping who we're becoming. They are food for our souls, and what we're letting into our mind, what we're letting shape our thoughts and our affections is of profound, and I don't think it's too out of line for me to say it's of eternal importance. So listen to these songs, sing them in your home, get them into your head, get them into your heart, and let them shape you.